Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Steven Universe, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
Michelle Anderer.
Hello.
And Justin Cummings.
Hello, Internet.
Today, you heard right. That's new Steven Universe episodes, not the Justin part. But yeah, Steven Universe we're talking about, finally. The hiatus is over. The longest Steven Universe hiatus has finally come to an end here on November 10th. Cartoon Network released 6 episodes on their app/website. And today we'll be marathon podcasting them here at overlyanimated.com. We'll be covering all 6 episodes in either 1 or 2 episode per podcast form. So presumably you're probably listening to this after we've already finished recording all of them, so you can check all of them out at overlyanimated.com. But if you're listening and they're not all out yet, they will be soon. Or search for Overly Animated Steven Universe on iTunes. And subscribe there or on YouTube to not miss any of our Steven Universe episode discussions. Today we're talking in this podcast the first 2 episodes, Dewey Wins and Raising the Barn. These are the order may be kind of unclear on the app, so these are the first 2: Dewey Wins, Raising the Barn, and we're getting into these, but not the future episodes yet. So spoilers for Dewey Wins and Raising the Barn. Make sure you've seen these 2. But let's get into things. Delaney, Steven Universe is back. Thoughts and also thoughts on these 2 episodes.
Woo! Of course I'm excited that Steven's back. It's one of the best shows ever, and I'm always excited. And I was about to start watching, and my girlfriend was like, "You're watching without me!" She yells from the shower. So I almost got in trouble, but it's fine.
She's good hearing.
So hype, Steven's back. I wasn't really that impressed with these 2 episodes, to be honest. It was a little bit of a letdown. At least Dewey Wins was I'm pleased that Dewey Wins and that we're dealing with consequences of Steven being in space. I don't really appreciate Steven being so dumb about it, though I understand why he's being dumb about it. He's 14 and he's stupid. Is he 14? I don't remember anymore how old he is. Okay. Yeah. It's fine. The Connie stuff, I feel deep in my soul. I definitely think that Raising the Barn is the stronger episode. We get Pumpkin. Lapidot's always the best. I am sad that Lapis is leaving. I'm not shocked about it. I do think these episodes are not narratively interesting. There's not too much going on, but they were okay. I think they were fine. I don't think they were horrible.
Yeah. Okay. Tepid response from Delaney, but let's see what our other panelists think about it. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Confirmed. Michelle, thoughts on Dewey Wins and Raising the Barn?
I cannot believe that my prayers have been answered. We finally got Nanafwa for more than a hot second. Nanafwa is my favorite townsperson, and the fact that she was running made me really, really happy. And it also I don't know. Nanafwa won, and the line Dewey gives you, she's more qualified, she should win. I was oh, if only real life were like this. If only show. But I agree. Steven was being kind of dumb, and the fact that it took him helping Dewey's campaign to realize, this is how Connie must feel. It's but it's not the same. I think it's more a big deal what's going on with you and Connie, Steven. But that he came to the conclusion that he just needs to give her space was good. Raising the Barn, I agree with Delaney. I thought that was the better of the 2. Seeing Lapis and Peridot again was great because we haven't seen them in forever. So it was great seeing them have focus, and seeing more Pumpkin again is always really nice. I'm really curious what's where Lapis is gonna go. And the fact that she took the whole barn with her, I thought was actually pretty funny, but yeah, I don't know. I liked both of them, but I assumed Steven was gonna have a sit down talk with the gems, and they were gonna form a plan about getting Lars back. But to have Steven just kind of hang out with Dewey for a while and help his campaign seems really weird right now, given the high stakes of the diamonds being after him and everything. Lapis took it really seriously, but Steven doesn't seem too concerned yet, and I don't know. I feel maybe this is leading to something bigger. But as of now, I feel a little underwhelmed. Yeah,
it's a good point. Lapis seems to be the only one concerned with Steven having betrayed the 2 diamonds.
Yeah, as soon as she finished, just I am leaving. I'm not doing this again. She's just out.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, episode 2 is pretty. It's a big character episode, but 2 pretty chill plot episodes considering the stakes.
Yeah.
We'll see if that.
Also, Sadie's the only one who actually has the normal human response to Lars died and is now pink.
Yeah. She's like, well, at least he's kind of alive.
Yeah, we don't even get to hear Steven say that yet, but it's yeah. I'm glad we got Sadie's reaction at least. But yeah, okay. So Justin, thoughts on Dewey Wins and Raising the Barn?
So I actually really like Dewey Wins because this is what I wanted. Because I know a lot of people are like anti-Dewey, but I love the episode Political Power. And so when I saw we were getting another Dewey episode, I'm like, this is what we need. Because whenever Steven hangs out with Dewey, it gives us really interesting character moments. And it does turn out pretty nice. And yeah, it would have been nice to focus on Lars immediately. But I'm glad Steven did kind of figure out what was up. And yeah, it took Dewey for him to figure that out. But again, he is young and he is still learning. And what I really like, though, is that this wasn't like full disclosure. You know, we didn't immediately resolve everything. We're still waiting for Connie's response. Connie hasn't just forgiven him because he made the decision. I think both these episodes were kind of about just because you make the mature decision doesn't mean things immediately resolve. And that's a really hard lesson to learn because it's like, you're encouraged to be mature so that things work out and then they don't. And it's like, what's the point? And being mature for the sake of yourself and doing the right thing is a tough concept for a lot of people. And it's something that takes a lot of commitment. And to see both of these episodes focus on that and the end of Raising the Barn where, you know, Peridot's laying in the bathtub defeated in her new little bed. And Steven's looking at his blank list of missed calls. It's just like they both ultimately did the right thing, but here they are. And it's just, I am sad. I am sad.
What?
Sad.
So what are you sad about? Is it the Steven Connie drama or Lapis leaving?
A little bit of both. And that, like, you know, here, like, even in perfect little beach city world, just because you do the right thing, good things don't always happen. And it's like, well, real life sucks even more. Like, we don't even have Nana Foy as mayor. So, like,
yeah,
our world must really suck. And it's like, why should I do anything? Why should I get out of bed today? I'm just going to lay here and cry.
Well, the bomb's not over. Maybe it'll get better.
We're just 2 episodes in, but yeah, I think it's a good point. Justin, so far, picking up on the recurring plot thread between these 2 episodes is definitely the Steven Connie drama, and like we'll see if this continues past these 2, but past bombs recently have always had kind of a recurring thread through them. And at least these 2 episodes are tied with you know, Connie not returning Steven's texts and stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty depressing start to this bomb here. I mean, like, yeah, Steven does eventually, he wants to apologize to Connie and stuff, but at least we're giving stakes to the fact that he was being really annoying the past few months on the show. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. For me, the big event here is Lapis leaving. Lapis is my favorite, and is she just gone now? Like, what are we doing here? She just took off, raising the barn, and I'm worried that Lapis will not be on the show much anymore. That's a big concern for me. But yeah, I thought Raising the Barn was a good episode. It's a much needed Lapidot episode, even though it's not like nearly as much of a highlight as a ton of past Lapidot eps. And Dewey Wins was fine, but unexciting. Basically, would be my take on these 2. You know, there's not a lot there in Dewey Wins to talk about, but and to be honest, both of these not the most to talk about, but I think these two big events are Lapis leaving, Connie upset at Steven. I guess let's start on the second episode with Lapis being gone. You know, my question is potentially like, you know, how permanent is this? Because to me, this made a lot of sense with Lapis's character. So I guess first, what did you think of her reaction, Lapis, to the news that Steven was with the Diamonds, Michelle?
I think it made a lot of sense. And it was interesting that she seemed way more concerned about Blue Diamond than like both the diamonds. She's like, you saw Blue Diamond? Oh, she knows that you ran away from her. She was just like immediately terrified. And I feel like that speaks volumes to the fact that she was very involved in the first war. And we didn't really get to see the Gems reaction, but it might have been very similar. At least like Pearl and Garnet's reaction could have been very similar to when Stephen broke the news to them. And for the brief moment when he's like walking out of the house, he's like, I'll be fine. Like they do look really concerned, especially Pearl. So I think it just like, it kind of speaks to how much power and how dangerous the diamonds are in a way that Stephen can't fully comprehend yet. So I think it makes a lot of sense that she's so terrified. And given what she's already been through, the fact that she is like outie so immediately after and does not want to consider staying to fight, I think that makes so much sense for her character. So I'm sad she left, but I think like it would have made more sense for her to do this than to stay for the sake of just like Peridot or, you know, Stephen.
Did you say she's outie?
Yeah.
Like Audi or like in Step Brothers and they say I'm Audi 5000, bro, like the car.
I don't know what that is.
Like what do you
What is that?
Okay. It's okay. But yeah, what do you mean just Peridot? This is
Well, I mean
the Lapidot is strong, Michelle. Come on.
The Lapidot is very strong, yeah, but Lapis is still her own person and she still thinks she's not willing to compromise, and I think that's true of a lot of people. And she can still care a lot about Peridot, but be very firm about this decision for her own preservation. Being trapped for thousands of years does things to you.
Right.
I think it's understandable.
Yeah, that's the part I liked about this, was that this the Lapis reaction really gave credence to the backstory that we'd gotten from her.
It makes so much sense given everything we've known about Lapis up to this point.
Yeah, I think it may. I agree, and it like gave weight to the characterization we've done with Lapis. Yeah, Delaney, what do you think of Lapis leaving? Like, do you think her reaction was realistic given the show, and do you think she's just gone now?
I mean, I definitely think it was realistic given the show, like everything we know about Lapis. She wouldn't want to stay. Like, I think like the terror at like you talk to the diamonds and all that, now they're coming for us, was very realistic. And like, I'm really glad that they did it, because I think sometimes we don't do the best stuff with Lapis, like, and kind of let her fall to the wayside, and we kind of forget like all the trauma she's endured. Like the only character who really remembers is Peridot. And so I definitely think it was realistic. I don't think she's gone forever. I do think like eventually Lapis might come back, or I mean, unfortunately, I think there's a good chance Lapis might get caught,
Oh yeah, true.
Or the diamonds like kind of encounter Lapis, but they don't care about her, and they just kind of move on, and that's when Lapis kind of realizes that like, you know, kind of in this awful way that like her trauma was awful of what happened to her, but like she's just like she's not really a big deal. Like in the scheme of what they have plans for Earth and for Steven. And that's when Lapis is like, I gotta go back. Like I think she'll be back. Like it's hard. Lapis loves Steven and everybody too much. But I am like curious as to how it's gonna play out, because we don't want to like not give credence to her trauma and like what she's been through, but then also like we don't want her to be gone forever. That'd be sad. We like her a lot.
Mm. Yeah, it's a good point. On one hand, Lapis leaving just is realistic given her the history that she has with Homeworld. On the other hand, she really does love Steven and Peridot. So, Justin, do you think one of these two will win out eventually on the show?
I think. See, I don't want to see her get captured just because we've already had that plot.
Yeah.
I don't want it a second time. I'd rather her come back on her own accord. Or, Dylan, you're going to kill me. We haven't had anyone betray the team yet. I would not mind seeing Lapis kind of turn inside of Homeworld for self-preservation.
I mean, I feel like that's a familiar beat with this character. I feel like this was like original Lapis.
But we haven't seen that happen. We've seen her get captured. We haven't seen her willingly turn herself over and side with them.
Yeah. Do you think that would fit with the building? You know, do you think that would just go against the buildup we've had with the Lapidot and Lapis Steven buildup?
It depends on where they're going with the character. Because honestly, like, they could have it be like ultimately her fear of the diamonds wins out. She decides that the only way to protect herself is to be with the diamonds.
Yeah.
if they're gonna go with, so it depends on what's gonna win out, fear or love. And I don't know, because I don't know what direction she wants to take her character in. If love wins out, she's gonna come back eventually. If fear wins out, she might turn and side with the diamonds.
Yeah, it's possible that she'd just be afraid of Blue Diamond's reaction so much that she'd just go back to her. Yeah, I think it's probably on the table. What's your read on Justin on how soon she'll be seen again on the show?
I doubt this bomb. Probably the next one, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what direction we're going in. If we go to Homeworld soon, maybe. Like, that's my thought, is we're gonna go to Homeworld at some point to see Lars, and we're gonna run into Lapis on Homeworld. We think she's a friend, and she's not. That's my read of the most probable situation, just thinking what hasn't happened yet. But I kind of want her to stay away for a little bit, because I want to see Peridot living with the gems a bit longer.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Like, I'm
That's
really
the
excited
dynamic.
for new Peridot, like this Peridot, to be living with the gems.
Yeah, new Peridot staying in the bathroom once again. You're hyped for that, Michelle?
Yeah, because her last time was very short-lived. She was very hostile towards the gem. So I think this will be a new interesting dynamic between her and everyone else in the house. And I do honestly think Lapis needs some time to like make a decision herself, whatever it is. I don't think she's going back to Homeworld. It seemed like she wanted to go to another unknown planet to kind of like keep a low profile. So a third option could be not that she sides with the diamonds, but that she just kind of like stays out of the way and doesn't interfere at all with anyone. Which, yeah.
That's the scenario I'm worried about, because would we just show her on a random planet? I think probably not.
Probably not. What else could, I mean, she could be intercepted, but again, I agree with Justin. I wouldn't want her to be captured again, because it's just, given Lapis's history, I just feel like that would just be really awful to happen anymore. So yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen. She could just decide to come back, but she would need a really good reason, something to change her mind. So I think she just needs time at this point.
Maybe her love for Peridot.
She needs to think about it more than, but right now she's just like one track mind. Gotta go, get the barn out. So
what if she catches wind that the diamonds are going to shatter Peridot? Because I mean, it's been a recurring theme of Peridot thinks the diamonds are going to get her. No, they really don't care, actually. So what if finally they do care? They do go after Peridot, and Lapis catches wind of this.
Maybe. Honestly, I liked Peridot's reason for her to stay more than just that she loves Peridot. Peridot was all about, we should fight. I think we can win. We can stop this, instead of just running away, which makes it like more than just about their relationship. It's about taking a stand and trying to like have some control over the situation, which I think is like the best reason. And if Lapis can come to think of it that way, I wouldn't want Peridot to just be in mortal danger for her to change her mind, I feel like there's a better way to get Lapis back.
Yeah, maybe. I do think Lapis might come back if she learned that Steven or Peridot were in direct danger.
I mean, probably she would, but I don't think we need to do that to get her to come back.
Yeah.
I think that's like a last resort.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But for now, Lapidot dead. Delaney, what's your take on this potential end of the Lapidot?
I don't think Lapidot's dead. They're just separated right now. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not over. Lapidot's not over until one of them's dead, and even then, it's not over.
Because it will always live in our hearts, is that why?
No, because the other one will be sad forever, and we'll all be sad forever.
The Amadot shippers slowly rise back from the grave, and we come back to take our rightful place.
Not now, Justin. This is a Lapidot. Not now.
Give me an hour, and I have a feeling. I know it in my heart.
Okay, we'll see. But here's my take on the end of Lapidot here, and then Delaney, tell me whether you agree or not. I feel like this is a realistic kind of snag in their relationship, given the issues that they address at the end, which is that Peridot had always just been catering to Lapis's emotional needs without being honest herself, and she's just been very like stepping around Lapis. And of course, it's a good thing to try to not like trigger any of Lapis's previous experiences and stuff like that. But I think Peridot was like number one concern was just make Lapis happy, and there's definitely an element of honesty that was missing from their relationship. So I feel like this is a realistic, thing that Lapis and Peridot have to work through. What do you think, Delaney?
I mean, I definitely agree with that. This is actually something like I have gone through in my own personal life. Like when you I mean, in essence, Lapis has a mental illness. She's struggling through trauma and PTSD, and there's that, you want to take care of them, but then you also you have to take care of yourself. And so, I mean, they're showing definitely this kind of this very adult situation. It's also I think we're going to the fundamentals of we love Lapidot, but also that ultimately Lapidot may never work out simply because Peridot and Lapis are just two very different people. Lapis doesn't really care about Earth. She cares about Steven and Peridot, but the gems can go do whatever. She doesn't care. They had to make her stay on Earth. She doesn't really want to stay. And, Peridot loves everything about Earth. And Peridot's kind of the 100% Steven convert, and Lapis is not. Lapis is honestly the foil to Peridot, and that's kind of where they're at. And I think I think you're right. They're exposing a lot of the issues in their relationship.
Yeah.
So you just had the goofy fun stuff, but this is the actual what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we gotten so much of the Lapidot comedy and fluff that maybe we needed some of the get into their actual relationship issues here. Yeah, Michelle,
you're at chapter 25 in the fic. And
right. Yes, they're finally there.
Basically, it's just been a fic every 5 episodes though, with the two of them. Yeah, Michelle, do you think what Delaney said, are they just too different, Lapis and Peridot, to be together?
I mean, this could be the thing that confirms or denies that. Then they're reaching a point where something's got to give, and it seems like what gave us at Lapis could not compromise this decision to leave. That could be the thing that breaks them up, or it could not. And that's why I think regardless of what happens, Lapis needs some time to think about what her priorities are. And, what matters the most to her, because it seems pretty clear what matters the most to her right now is just to be safe in a way
thing for Peridot, though,
yeah,
too.
Exactly. And both of them think about it in different ways. And I do agree with Delaney that they are they're very opposite people. And I was honestly very surprised as the show unfolded of them living together and both being making meat morphs together and being really goofy, because I never thought Lapis could be really goofy given everything we've seen of her. But I mean, that her trauma is one side. It's a big part of her, but it is one side. And I like the idea that Peridot can kind of make her more silly and get her excited about campaigning hearts. But it's true. Is that enough? Are those things enough to keep them together? I do feel Lapis on the level that you want people to be respectful of things that bother you, but you also want people to be real with you. You don't want people to walk on eggshells around you. You want to have that level of honesty. And for her to know that was missing now is kind of a huge blow. So I think that's something that will need to be resolved also if they're going to work out in the long term.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just a great note for the show to hit at this point. Although I will say, I think that it was not given a lot of time. It was just kind of very fast at the end of this episode. So while I like the direction for this, I don't necessarily know if the episode itself was presenting it in an incredible way. Agree or disagree, Justin?
I agree. I think that they kind of rushed the ending a little bit, but at the same time, sometimes that's how life works. Things just happen very fast, and it's you're just a little too late, too little, too late, and it sucks. But you just got to move forward, and I think that's what Peridot's gonna do. Yeah,
definitely, probably gonna get into Peridot's emotional state now, post Lapis, but and bring Lapis back. I'm already ready. Come on, let's do it. Other things in this episode. Well, I guess the part of the climax, I feel like that's her most quotable is Peridot after she says she wants to stay and fight for Earth. She says, "You're supposed to reward me for my emotional honesty."
Oh, that's such a Peridot line. It was pretty great.
Quality.
Yeah.
Also, pretty meta. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peridot's very self-aware about things. We forget that sometimes, but she really is.
Yeah, she's textbook learned all these
all
these things, so that's this is how this works now. Yep. But Lapis. She says she doesn't say things that would upset Lapis. Wants to stay and fight for Earth. But Lapis just takes the barn and leaves. So Yep. There you go.
Pumpkin's really cute, for the record.
Yeah,
Yeah, Pumpkin,
Really...
her. Did we know the Pumpkin was a her before this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I think so,
I
yeah.
didn't remember
I
that.
forget every episode,
Yeah.
and then they remind me that Pumpkin is a her.
Yeah. Pumpkin, great here. So that's good. The other good Peridot quote was, she says, "I'm a very precious gem." I can't believe
That was also
I can't
really
believe
good.
they've waited until episode.
Like, it took them this long.
Yeah, was this the right spot for that? But yeah, I don't know. And the other thing, Peridot was like, why isn't Steven called us? And he says, Lapis said he was just ignoring us. Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah. But yeah, they were in the middle of their Camp Finding Hearts season 4 rewatch. He's still going, and that Peridot says that if they take the barn, their mute morphs, their installations need the context of the barn. If we move them, they'll just become performance pieces. Very unfortunate that Sam is not on this podcast because this was a harsh condemnation of performance art in this episode. And I've already told Sam
We need Sam's defense.
Yeah, Sam will.
Yes,
we need an article from Sam. Yeah, and Steven says performing art isn't bad; it's just misunderstood. We'll see if we agree with that. But yeah, more art school jokes from the Lapidot plotline. Onion was in this episode. Onions. Thoughts?
Very, very bearable onion.
Yes, he didn't talk. So he doesn't
true.
talk, but he didn't, do anything. So that's good.
Also, a joke they waited a super long time to make, apparently.
Probably.
Yeah, onions.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this like episode 3 of the show? Like, why are there these obvious jokes happening? Yeah.
Maybe they had like a list of all the onion jokes and they've been going through them season by season. Like, oh, which ones haven't we used? Oh, I never had onion with onions. That's been in the book forever. We should do that.
Yeah, it seems like it.
It was cute. I liked him having Steven's hat
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like
from
no
the
comment.
from the Watermelon Steven episode.
Yeah, he just books it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other things that stood out to any of you from the episode? I think we covered. Yes, Justin.
I know that we're not like super eager. Like I know no one's top of the wish list is like we need Uncle Andy back. No one wants that immediately. But I want Andy to come back and question what happened to his barn.
Yeah, that's true. His barn's just gone now. So
I'm not saying I want this like next episode, but just at some point, just casually like where's the family barn? I want to go see it for old time's sake.
Also, what can't Lapis do?
Yeah, she's so strong.
She lifted
Stay
up
in a healthy
barn.
relationship.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Too soon.
She's taking
Wow.
time for herself. That is healthy.
Justin bringing the shade already. Oh my god. Just
Pew pew.
Lapis just she'd be them without Lapis against anything the Diamonds bring. I feel like not that great of a chance with Lapis.
That's actually true. Yeah.
With Lapis, I like their chances a lot more. So,
They have Pumpkin. They're fine.
With cuteness.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe the Diamonds never have seen anything objectively cute before.
Really? That's your take? They're gonna kill the Diamonds with cuteness. That is a
In
very
them cat videos, and they're wounded.
it's a very
It worked for Power Rangers Time Force. It can work here.
Okay. So anyone think Lapis will be back this bomb?
No.
No.
Yeah, not looking good, but I'm very sad. So already mourning Lapis on the show. And yeah, overall though, I think Raising the Barn, good episode. And got into some interesting things, although not a pinnacle Lapidot episode. Let's talk Dewey Wins. I think the main thing from this episode, as discussed, is the Steven Connie drama. In the beginning, we'd seen this clip for like months, so this was not we'd known this was coming.
It's really good.
Did Lion stay with Connie? Did Lion come back?
We did.
We went to
We did
Connie.
not see Lion go back since he portaled off with Connie. Correct.
Getting shaded by Connie and Lion.
Mm-hmm. Now you know you've messed up.
Yeah,
Yeah, is Lion just staying with Connie now? Like,
you're concerned about Lion, but
They're
no,
just
I'm
like- they're, like,
concerned of
together
fighting
and
the
they're just, like,
Diamonds without a
complaining
Lion or
about
Lapis.
Steven.
right, Lion probably the second most powerful weapon they have. He's also not here.
Yeah.
Not-
Steven has just like screwed up their entire army.
Yeah. But yeah, the fight generally comes down to Steven not realizing that he, it wasn't his decision alone to make. He affected other people when he turned himself in, and Connie, is upset with him for not realizing that she heard him there, and they walk off at the beginning, and then Steven at the end with Dewey understands how Connie feels. So, to me, Justin, this felt very similar when I initially saw the beginning clip to the full disclosure episode. How do you think this compares to the Steven Connie drama from that?
This is like the biggest Stephen Connie drama I think we've gotten since then. Maybe like Sworn to the Sword, but no, this is like the biggest since Full Disclosure. And I like this episode. I like the drama here. Like, I mean, it broke my heart and ripped my soul out of my body, but at the same time, it was really good and really well executed, I thought, because Stephen is 14 and like he's had this pressure kind of put on him of like, you're rose quartz, and like, we know he's obsessed with like this whole magical destiny thing, even though there is no magical destiny. That's kind of been a recurring theme on the show. And to see him kind of have to grapple with that of like, no, you're not special. You're not the only one in charge. You don't get to make these choices. You're not the chosen one. Kind of shows that growth. And I want to know what song he was going to sing, and I want the rest of that song.
That was really funny that he didn't finish the song.
Well, that was in the beginning of Raising the Bar. But
yeah.
Yeah, stuff's going down on the show when songs get cut off.
Get interrupted, yeah.
That's the sign. Delaney, what was your reaction to how Connie reacted to Steven's action and to her leaving?
Well, Steven's being a dumb face, so like he deserves it. I'm really excited, honestly, because Connie's become really sure of herself, and like to see Connie standing up to Steven, and also Connie, like, she's not going to forgive him right away. Like, they need to have a discussion, and Connie's right. Like, Connie's grown to her own. Like, she's just as good a fighter as Steven is. And like, she's right. Like Stevani, like, why couldn't they, like, come on? So I think this will be I think this is really great what they're doing. And Steven's not perfect, and I think exploring this more, especially like this has been the arc we've been on for a while, that Steven just needs to kind of crawl out of his head a little bit and talk to the people around him. So this is definitely like a way bigger deal than Full Disclosure. Like, this is like actual drama, and I'm really excited about it. And I think it's like, Connie, yeah, be mad. You deserve it, Connie. Like, Steven's being dumb. And I'm interested to see how this plays out. I don't think this will be resolved this bomb.
Ooh.
That's my flag in the sand.
That's a long time.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that might be what it is. I think they're really going to drag it out. Also, I low-key accidentally watched the first minute of Gymcation because the app is stupid.
Okay.
And so, like, I know secrets, but other than that...
Wow, the roles have been reversed. Delaney's... Well, I don't know if any of you have seen them, but I haven't seen the other ones, so I have no idea what's going to happen.
The app is dumb. I haven't seen any more than, like, that first minute, though, in my defense. It's just a stupid app. The app is dumb.
If I can also be mad about the app for a second, it listed all 6 of the new episodes as season 5, episode 0.
Yeah. So you can't tell the order from it. Yeah.
And they list them in the weirdest order. And the thing is, when you look at season 5, they're not there. You have to go to all episodes, and then they're there. And like, I like what they're doing with like, oh, we're gonna put it up early on the app, but just give them the episode number. That's all I'm asking. Yeah, that's not a big request.
Cartoon Network once again botched this release. Last night, the episodes premiered on PS View. That's what they were up on first, and then they were on the website and they wouldn't play. And Cartoon Network said they'd be up at 6, but obviously this is before 6. So just all around, not great for them. But
and Dylan was carefully monitoring the situation.
Yeah, I had a plan for the episodes being up in the morning because I did not believe that 6 o'clock thing.
Are you mad they weren't up at 6? Because I'm not mad that we're not doing a 10:15 p.m.
This
podcast.
is the better scenario. Yeah, they should. There's no reason to hold your online releases until a certain time at night. Yeah. So Michelle, is this a Connie Steven breakup?
No. I mean, I agree with everything Delaney and Justin have been saying. I think this is a bigger deal than Full Disclosure because Connie has come so much farther. She's been training so much more. They've been working as a unit now. So I think the disappointment that Steven wouldn't feel that she could be in on this with him is even greater now too as a consequence. So it is going to take a little more time for them to deal with this and have a discussion. And also for Connie, I mean, like Delaney was saying, like she has come a long way in terms of her own self-assuredness. Like for a while, she felt really bad, like she was just a human. She couldn't do anything. And then she got trained to sword fight and she confused now. And she is like a really good fighter. And I think it's a big deal to her that she's worried that Steven might think she's still like not up to like good enough to fight off Homeworld gems. And I think she is. And Stevonnie already took out Jasper. So yeah, I can understand her frustration too. I think there's a certain amount of like trust that's been broken, but it can be repaired. But I with the Lapis thing, I think Connie needs some time. I think Steven needs to like understand. He's starting to like why Connie's actually upset, even though he thought he was doing the right thing. So yeah, they're not broken up. They're just, they're having a cool off period right now. Yeah.
Justin, when are they reuniting?
By the end of this bomb.
Okay. That's still a long time though. That's a lot of episodes.
It is. That's up to 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Like I'm giving this 6 episodes because I feel for Steven so much. Where you have that breakthrough and you realize what you did wrong and you're ready to apologize and you know what you need to say, you know what you did wrong and you're ready to fix it, and you can't fix it yet. And you just have to wait for them to be ready to hear that you're ready. And that wait is just, it's killer. I feel for Steven.
Yeah, Steven just needs to wait, right? Like this is not the right approach if he aggressively goes at this, even though you definitely an understandable reaction from Steven now. So we'll see. I think this will be recurring, so we'll talk more about the Steven Connie stuff. Only other major thing from Dewey Wins, Mayor Dewey out as mayor. Nanafwa in.
Yay, Nanafwa. Oh my God, I'm so happy. She's going to be the best mayor ever. Do you see that suit in those heels? She's like prepared.
I'm hyped.
Yes, the suit was so good.
You guys
hyped.
are implying that we'll see her as mayor at all. Like,
yes, we will.
When?
Whenever we go back to Beach City.
Well, she might start like imposing kind of like rules and stuff, and it would be interesting to see how that plays out. Like this actual Beach City standing up, like when the diamonds come.
Yeah, because her whole new platform shifted to blaming Dewey to being like, we all are responsible for making our town better. So that actually is really plausible.
Yeah, is Nanafwa gonna join the fight against the diamonds when they come down? Is that what's happening?
Totally. She's gonna.
Yeah,
Mayor Nanafwa.
She's gonna murder people. Like I'm scared of her.
Nanafwa's tough.
Yeah.
So we can no longer call Mayor Dewey. He's just Dewey.
Yeah, what's his first name?
It's just Dewey.
Bill.
Okay.
Bill Dewey.
And his son is Buck Dewey.
Oh, well, Buck's a way more fun name.
Yeah, so he
Bill.
says that he needs to get a job at the end of this. Is he going to fill in at the donut shop now?
Yes. Yes,
please.
Sadie him and Sadie. Yeah, that would be amazing. He'd be messing up so bad, and Sadie would be
I
like,
want to see this dynamic.
Yeah,
of the
I would be
bumbling
into
coworker.
it. Yeah.
That implies that we're seeing more Mayor Dewey, though, and I think we're fine without him for a while. But Sadie in this episode says, I'm basically their only employee now about the donut shop.
Yeah.
Are you basically their only employee, or are you actually their only employee? Because
nobody else shows up to work.
Yeah.
Is it
maybe...
Mr. Smiley?
I don't know.
Who runs Big Donut? Like,
yeah, we've never seen anyone else there. But that and the other one of two like lampshading, making fun of the Beach City lines. The other one was Mayor Dewey says 12 people. That's half the town.
Yeah, that was really great.
I've been talking about this for years on this podcast. How 24 is above how many people I thought were in this town, but it's right in the ballpark at least.
Well, Greg before said at one point that the town's like 15 people, so maybe they've been growing in numbers.
Yeah, maybe a new family moved in. That would account for it.
For like a third of the population.
Yeah. Michelle, you liked Nanafwa's speech?
I loved everything about Nanafwa. I was just so happy to have her back. She's so good. And her speech was like awesome. She's very eloquent. She has a way with words and she's really good at thinking and like, because Dewey had all those cards and he was useless without them. But Nanafwa like repurposed her speech on the fly. That's the kind of smooth talking politician you need in Beach City. Nanafwa delivers.
I feel like it's not about whether you can like read from a teleprompter or memorize. I feel like that's not the the quality that we want to go on. But yeah, she was impressive there. We'll see. We'll see if we see her implemented as mayor. I don't know. I don't know if this is on the top of the plot points list. But then again, I don't know why we needed this episode. So
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know anything that's going to be important. So
yeah. I guess Steven. We talked about Steven telling Sadie about Lars. Haven't told Lars's parents. Apparently, Sadie does that. And
yeah, they just look kind of sad, but they don't say anything.
well, his mom throws the tomato.
Oh, that's true. She does throw the iconic tomato.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was amazing that Mayor Dewey didn't understand how like the internet works. She's like, I didn't hire any press. How is this on the internet already?
Yeah, he does.
And
He
it's
doesn't.
like, well,
He doesn't
dude,
get it.
people have phones. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah. Okay. Last. Anything else from Dewey Wins? Anyone wants to get into? No.
Who had their phone out and was filming though?
Yeah, not clear. One of the 24.
It was
people.
obviously Ronaldo.
No, that would make a lot
We
of sense.
didn't-
He's always on his phone anyway, so
Yeah, we didn't see him, so
maybe he's hiding.
yeah, he might have been hiding. Okay. So yeah, overall, decent episodes, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, but nothing.
Yeah.
nothing
They were aight. They
spectacular.
were aight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Dewey Wins is great, but I think Raising the Barn's pretty good. So, yep, that's it for our Dewey Wins Raising the Barn discussion. We're going to get into the next one, which is Gemcation. Just that one on the next podcast. So look out for that at overlyanimated.com. Search for Overly Animated Steven Universe, iTunes, or your favorite podcatcher. Subscribe to us there or YouTube to not miss anything. And get in on the conversation at overlyanimated.com/Discord. We have a Steven Universe spoilers channel set up for now until everyone's caught up. And consider supporting us via Patreon, patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Beatrice, aka Beatrix Strange, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Andy. So yep, just more Steven Universe podcast coming. Bomb podcast. That's what this is. That's the new format we're exploring.
Bombcast.
The Bomb podcast. Very reminiscent of Voltron Season 1, Delaney. This is what's happening.
Rip.
Yeah, rip. Okay, so that's all. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.